Consultants in Cleaning is excited to announce the addition of 2 new products to its ever-growing library of education and learning materials. Dick Ollek's new DVD entitled Increasing Profits Without Increasing Sales takes you step by step through the process of finding areas in your current operation that can add substantial dollars to your bottom line. The second offering is Dick's new book entitled Richard's Writings. He's bound all 50 of his 2012 blog postings into one book of over 100 pages. Now you can have them in one handy location, available for reference, and at a very affordable price. So go to the website, consultantsincleaning.com, and check out these latest offerings and all the other educational tools for your business. Both you and Dick will be glad you did. Welcome to Tripodcast, episode 279. It's Monday, March 18th. And Dick Ollek takes up where he left off with his last Tripodcast in helping you grow your company. In this Tripodcast, he's going to spend more time on some specific strategies and techniques to help you land new customers. Let's listen in.
Welcome. In a previous podcast, we talked about increasing your business and the losses that will occur and how much business you are really going to have in order to get a 10% increase in your volume in the upcoming year. Then you may recall that I asked you to answer some questions in your own company as to what best fit the profile of your organization. Then you may also recall I said after we've done that and we've got all of our at this point suspects and we want to turn them into prospects, we should put together a mailing packet that we can send out to a prospect and then send them out on a Friday, you may recall, and then call them on a Wednesday. So in this particular Tripodcast, I wanted to point out what would actually go in that packet for you to send out. Well, first of all, I wanted to point out to you that I suggest to my clients, and what we did is we actually put together a file folder, just a regular file folder that went in a file cabinet, and on it then we would put the name of our company. How many times have you called on someone and they said, thanks for the information, and I'll put it right here in the file with all of the other building service contractors who want my business? And I got to thinking about that a few years ago, and I said, well, why don't I be the one with the file? And so that when they reach in to pull out the information to start the process of getting proposals to make a change for their service, that by golly, mine's the one that's right out there and has the name right for them to look at. And so with all the information in there, guess whose name is there and easy to see? So what goes in this? What do you actually put in this packet? Now, it's going to vary, of course, by company, but maybe you put in there what kind of software, if you have any, that's unique to the industry. There's several of them out there now. There's I'm not going to name all the names, but there's several out there now that have some really wonderful software that is unique to this industry and can help you bring business in the door. What about training? Do you have a training program that sets you apart from your competition? Now, I'm not talking about talking about a training program. I'm talking about, do you really have one? Put an agenda in there of an upcoming or maybe even one that you had training program, a training session that you've had. Now, I'm assuming that you have an organized training program. If your turnover is less than the industry average, put that in there. Now, that if the industry average is about 325%. In fact, I heard someone speak recently that it had reached 350%. I don't have that as a qualified, definite, possible maybe, but I do know that it's somewhere in that range, 325 to 350. So I wouldn't necessarily say to someone, even if it's half of that, I wouldn't say, well, my turnover is only 175%. I would say my turnover is only half of the industry average. That sounds much better. Because you see, if you're talking to a group of lawyers or a group of accountants, 175% turnover sounds terrible. They're thinking 10%. So you always want to say half or a third or a fifth. So include then in this packet, include pictures of your staff that you might have. And if you're the staff, put pictures of your staff. Put your own pictures in here. I had pictures of my district managers in ours, and so that they could point out and what picture and what district they had. And you might even want to put in there who would be controlling this account, who would be supervising this account, who would be responsible for it in your company. Include a brief outline of all the services that you offer. Put down all the things that your company offers, because what it does is it will pique their interest, even if they're not particularly looking for janitorial services now. They may be looking for some other services that you offer, and it gets your foot in the door. So put all the services that you offer. It catches their eye. And then, like I said, put the information in a nice file presentation folder, not in a letter form. Put it in this, and put it in a 9 by 12 or 11 by 14 envelope. So it's again a different size, so it gets to their desk. We're looking for ways that we are different, so that somebody looks at what we have to offer. And so by doing it this way and putting it in, don't put it in an envelope where you have to bend this over. Put it in an envelope that's large enough that you can do it. So, but in our particular one, we put in that at that time we had a 24/7 nationwide call center. We had a customer-only email address. We had a website special request link. We had formal customer account reviews, in other words, partnering meetings. And so that was, at that time, was the thing that made someone want to maybe talk to us. And there are other ways now with, like I said, the software and all that. And you'll see we had a special page for our services that listed all of the different services that we offer. We also put in a copy of our newsletter, and then we outlined the call center and things like that. But what we're looking for is something that will spark their interest. And then again, let me remind you that you mail them every week. These are some key points now. You have to mail them every week. Do not, and do it on a Friday. Do not fail to call them on a Wednesday or a Thursday for an appointment, no matter what fires you have to put out at the time. Ask for that 20-minute appointment, and be sure that you only stay 20 minutes unless a suspect asks you to stay. Now, what I did when I went in to talk to them is I would take my watch off, and I would lay it down like this, and so that it was right in front of me. Sometimes they'd say, "Why you take your watch off?" And I would say, I asked for 20 minutes, and when my 20 minutes are up, I will leave unless you want to continue talking with me. And only one time in all the years I did this did somebody say, "Your 20 minutes is up. You can leave." And I didn't get their business. That's a surprise, isn't it? But anyway, that way you have honored your commitment. Now, somebody told me the other day, don't use the watch anymore. You can put your PDA down there and set the alarm. That's fine. We'll get into more electronics today. But the point is that you asked for a 20-minute appointment, do the 20 minutes. Ask for the opportunity to give a proposal to them, not a bid. You've heard me talk about that for years now. You want to give them a proposal. Provide them with a proposal that can be a viable alternative. And even if they say to you, "Well, I'm not really interested now," say, "Look, we just want to be the viable alternative to what you now have. Let us give you a proposal." You can put it in this nice folder that we sent you, so that when you decide to make a change, if and when you decide to make a change, you at least have some relevant information about our organization. Some will let you do it, some won't let you do it. But anyway, and I realize today in this world we're in that email marketing is the thing, but I'm going to tell you I still use this system with my clients, or this system of initial contact, and it works. From these mailings, then you're able to determine which suspects should become prospects, and then from there you put them on a hit list, and then that's a subject also for a later discussion. But let me suggest to you that today you start a targeted process for 2013. I think it's critical to your success as an organization. Customers really can't buy from you if they don't know who you are, if they don't know who you exist. And just being a nice person doing quality work really doesn't bring in the business anymore. I hear that a lot. Well, I have a reputation now. People call me. Well, that's fine, but and that's great that they call you, and you should take advantage of that. But I think it's critical. I don't know that you can grow the kind of numbers you need to grow just by being a nice company, doing good work, and waiting for the phone to ring. I think you have to take these steps. So again, let me suggest to you that this is one way that you can get your name, yourself, in front of prospective customers, and it's different than most people do it, but it will get you in the door. Thanks for watching and listening.
You've been listening to a Tripodcast, short video and audio presentation about important topics in our industry. If you're a current subscriber to the Tripodcast, thank you. We appreciate it. If you're not yet a subscriber, please check it out. It's free and it's easy. Come to www.tripodcast.com, enter your email address on the right-hand column, and click subscribe. We'll send you out a new Tripodcast every Monday morning.